Tēnā koutou katoa, good evening. The ACT Party launched its election campaign today, an event summed up with 2 words, disruption and division. While introducing anti-co-governance policies, David Seymour was heckled by protesters in the crowd before they were physically removed, while one of our cameramen says he was punched in the face by an ACT supporter and hit on the head with a sign. Here's political editor Jenna Lynch.
What in the pink Wizard of Oz is this? Through the haze, a lone figure attempting to sell his vision of New Zealand.
A movement for real change.
But shouted down by Vision New Zealand.
Is this guy trying to protest?
The prolific protester, Karl Mokaraka, the same one who popped up at a national event, this time in disguise, incognito, with a fake moustache.
You can try and shout us down in here. You can try and shout us down on Twitter. You can try and shout us down on the mainstream media. But you will never...
Despite ACT checking names and bags at the door, no one noticed him coming in. Perhaps it was the moustache.
I think we'll certainly be asking that question because, as you say, apparently it's a person who has a bit of form in this area.
Seymour attempted to push on.
Let me carry on, we're just going to ignore you now.
But the carry-on carried on until finally security moved him on. ACT supporters charged up on Seymour's pink Kool-Aid, seething with anger at everyone.
You just caused a division. You're responsible for the problems.
Are you part of the ACT Party?
Of course I'm part of the ACT Party, part of New Zealand.
One of our camera operators was even hit by members of the audience.
No, that's unacceptable.
The political discourse is divided. Seymour says that's nothing to do with him.
I don't take responsibility for the actions of other people that are wrong.
But he did, of course, double down on his anti-co-governance shtick.
We all matter.
Pitching his referendum on the treaty.
This country deserves a say on what the treaty means.
Peddling Don Brash lines.
Only one party stands on this principle of one Kiwi, one vote.
And suggesting people are being forced to use Te Reo Māori.
The way to turn a treasure into a form of torture is to impose it on people by force.
David Seymour going for broke on the race debate, whipping it up as the one issue on which to launch his campaign.
Today releasing a policy document titled A Path from Co-Government to Democracy, a follow-up to yesterday's welfare policy which took aim at beneficiaries.
Isn't it a bit tired to use beneficiaries and Māori as a political punching bag?
Well, that's not what we're doing.
They are more than happy to try and split Māori off from the rest of the New Zealand community in order to try and gain some votes.
The debate is there. People don't like government policies that divide them by race.
They've only been divisive because some parties in Parliament are trying to make them a divisive issue.
Are you concerned at how much David Seymour is steering into the race debate from what you've seen?
Look, I think at the end of the day, I want to make sure that New Zealand becomes a more unified country.
How much responsibility do you take for the division in this country?
I actually am responding to what people are saying to me on the street every day.
Sticking to his guns, no matter how divisive. Jenna Lynch, News Hub.